Welcome. It's California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are 23 ABC in Bakersfield, California, and we are joined by a member of the Board of Supervisors in Kern County. His name is Mick Gleason. We thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks, Brad. Nice to be here.
I want to speak with you about one of your most passionate interests, and that is the military.
My wife.
Your wife?
Oh, no, other than my wife.
Of course. I'm sure you married up like I did. I'm sure you married up. But let's talk about the NAWS China Lake Navy Base, which is in eastern Kern County. For our viewers statewide, tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, NAWS China Lake is a lab. It's a Navy lab. It is a Navy weapons test facility. It's 1.1 million acres of prime desert.
Right.
It
prime
does
desert,
where they do the weapons testing. Out of that 1.1 million acres, only 95% of it has been affected by the work they do because they're so interested and invested in the environment and managing the local ecology out there that they've done a great job.
You were the commanding officer.
Yes.
For how many years?
It was great. I was there for 4 years.
Okay.
The final 2 I was a commanding officer, executive officer, leading up to the commanding officer.
Years or years?
Years.
You're
the one talking weird, not me.
No,
I just want you to know.
Clearly. But it's actually kind of nice, though, and I tease you, but you come from Massachusetts. Yeah. And you come to Kern County.
Not really, not directly.
Of course.
I graduated from college and joined the Navy in '81.
Okay.
During the Reagan buildup, they said they wanted pilots to fly off carriers. I said, well, I could do that. They don't have any more accents. I could do that. Little did I know. So I was married, had a boy, a baby boy, and we joined in '81. It's been a wonderful experience ever since. So we spent 27 years traveling around the world, flying on and off every aircraft carrier in the inventory.
Wow.
With most of the jets that they flew, and did that for a number of years. My final assignment was at China Lake.
Right.
I retired out of there, made so many friends, and we had so many good relationships that Robin and I, although I had to drag her in there.
Right, Robin, your wife, of course.
Yeah, now I can't drag her out of there, even if I tried.
But in a lot of ways, though, it says a lot about this community, about Kern County and California.
Yes, it really does.
You are kind of a classic California story. You may be relatively new to this region and this state, but you were accepted with open arms. You are now a member of the Board of Supervisors, which is a very prestigious and important position. And so tell us about this new community that you love. Yes.
It's interesting because I don't think my story may not have happened in other parts of the country. Not that there's anything wrong with those other parts. I'm not casting aspersions. But only in California, where you're so eagerly brought in and friendships are so readily made that you can earn a position of trust in a quick way. And people in California are willing to trust people. If you come across in an honest way with integrity, you're going to be received well, and they admire that in a person, and my wife and I have tried to do that.
So let's talk, though, about representing eastern Kern County, because obviously Bakersfield is the center of the county, and so oftentimes, even though you represent the same number of people as someone who represents Bakersfield Central, it's got to be a little tricky, to try to yell and scream for your community's interests, because it's out there. So please.
Fortunately, my predecessors have done a good job of establishing the reputation of Eastern Kern, Ridgecrest, and the Navy mission and what we do out there. They understand, my compadres understand the critical nature of the work that is done on those 1.1 million acres and that weapons test and that training facility that is so critical to our national security. And as a matter of fact, I would say that the Bakersfield and the people on this side of the mountains treasure and prize as part of their culture the value that the military brings.
So you don't have to fight too hard.
Well, every once in a while, I'll come up against a rub spot, but not too many. Well, let me put it this way. Let's put it in a bigger picture because it's bigger than just Eastern Kern. It's bigger than Kern. It's bigger than California. It's more of a Western United States kind of picture because it's the only place in the world where a training facility can offer to a pilot, for example, who can launch off a boat in Southern California on an aircraft carrier, fly through Navy ranges, get some work done in all the way upcoming electronic warfare work done. And can drop bombs in Northern California. I mean, simulated bombs, do training missions. planes can launch from all different parts of California, Nevada. Air Force we do some air-to-air combat over Nellis Ranges. We can do some air-to-air refueling.
Miss it?
On our way. No, well, I miss the flying. I miss the flying a lot.
Right.
But I miss the flying, but I don't like being away from home. And
I hear you.
Boat. But it's only in the western part of the United States, mostly in California, where we can bring all that training together so that person, that pilot, when we deploy them to Iraq and Iran, we can
hopefully
know,
not Iran.
Well, yeah, wherever they go, wherever they,
right,
but wherever they need to go, whether even that's wherever
Afghanistan, whatever it may be,
these people are trained well, and because we've had these training facilities in Eastern Kern, we play a key role in that ability to build that national defensive structure.
Your energy's infectious. I can understand why your community,
it's really important.
At the same time, though, Kern, like a lot of California, is struggling under the weight of the drought. And Kern County, I mean, it is the vegetable basket, the fruit basket of America. Give us a sense how your community is doing. I mean, you're on the ground. I mean, you have a large geographic district, so you really see what it's like.
What's unique about my district is I have 2 water basins that are impacted by this new state law, the Sustainable Groundwater Act, that was signed this past year by Governor Brown. We have the Indian Wells Valley Water Basin, which is a medium priority basin, and we have the Kern County sub-basin in the greater Tulare Basin. And my district is, I'm blessed to have both those basins in my district. So we have 2 unique, different problems, each requiring a unique set of solutions to manage critical issues that are important to all of us.
But as I understand it, the Board of Supervisors and other stakeholders are getting ahead of this issue.
We're working.
They really are. You're working with your stakeholders, trying to figure out what best way to address the requirement of regulation, which causes some consternation among some. Although we were the only state in the West that didn't have groundwater regulation.
Think about it, Brad. I mean, we have some of the most prime agricultural land in the state. We have an agricultural industry that is of a significant revenue, $6 billion worth of revenue. It's a tremendous business that we have here that we need to support. So we're trying to get ahead of that as best we can. On the other side of the mountains, we have that national defense initiative that's so critical to our national security. We have to manage our water basin over there. So it's incumbent upon us to recognize the value of both those industries and recognize the value that so we restructured. We took it from the ground level and we're building up a county structure to help support and drive home the need for reform and the need for regulation.
But what are your constituents saying? I mean, they are used to just digging a well and pulling water out.
Those days are gone.
Right, and we know we've had subsidence, where the ground literally collapses on itself. And so is the community coming together and recognizing, as much as we like to be able to do what we wanted to do?
Well, it's easy for me to say now that we're coming together, and we are. But there's going to be some tough decisions made down the road that we're all going to have to come to face with, and we're all going to have to understand that the life we once knew may not be exactly similar to the one we're going to live down the future, or that our kids are going to have down the road, because groundwater is a finite resource. And we need to manage it as per state law and state mandate, and we're going to change the way we do that, and it's going to impact all of us, and we need to start making that journey together.
How close is this county, to the extent the county is going to have a single plan? I know that's up for debate, but how close are you to getting a groundwater management plan in place?
I think we're very reasonably close. Remember, there are 2 water basins. So there are 2 plans. And there are 2 agencies. So we're going to have an agency in the Indian Wells Valley Water Basin. And we're going to have an agency over here, some structure over here that we're still working on.
You'll come back when we come back?
Yeah, I'd be glad to, Brad.
Great. His name is Mick Gleason. He is a member of the Board of Supervisors in Kern County. My name is Brad Pomerance in Bakersfield, California. This is California Edition.